A couple of months ago, I started having this shooting pain down my left arm, and then there was numbness and tingling. And I didn't have an injury, I didn't have an accident, so I wasn't quite sure why I was having it, but I knew it wasn't good. So I started with a massage, and that helped short term. And then I signed up for chiropractic, and that helped short term. And then I decided, well, I'll sign up to see the PT who I really like, who really helped me with my back a couple of years ago. And she was a month out. So I continued with massage and chiropractic and again, short term relief. But what was the stem of the problem? And so I met with the PT, the physical therapist, and she did her evaluation. And she basically said, you hold your head just slightly up, your chin up just a little bit. And with everything else in your posture, it's starting to pinch between your C1 and your C2. And that's creating this shooting pain, probably, and maybe exacerbating your migraines. And so she started working with me and has me doing different exercises. Now, these aren't big deal exercises. They aren't like weightlifting, they aren't strength training. They're like fine motor tuning for the muscles that lie closest to the bones. And part of what she told me is that within your spinal cord, you have about 20% of give. Like there's a little bit of buffer space around it. But if you have an injury, or if you have irritation, or if you have a pinched nerve, something compounding on a regular basis, sorry, my dog's here, she wants to hang out with us, then that space, that 20% is going to shrink. And so we want to help you elongate your spine, especially there in your C spine, so that you can create more space and restore your buffer. So I've been doing that physically, but it's also been a really helpful analogy for me spiritually and emotionally in this new year where a lot of people are in a heightened state, an agitated state. There's a lot of irritation, there's compression, there's all of that that's sort of limiting our spiritual and emotional space. And so I think it's important that we think about, how are we creating space? How are we creating alignment in our hearts and our minds and our bodies so that we can have the space that we need, so that everything doesn't just sort of impinge on our emotional nerve system, and we make a little bit more room. So with this exercise, there's the physical training, but there's also the spiritual emotional training, sort of making sure we're in alignment with God, with grace, with love, with our neighbors. And even those micro adjustments might seem like little things, but actually they make a big difference, because those, with everything else that's going on, can pinch and compound the emotional tension and injury that we're experiencing this time. So, friends, take a deep breath in, check your spiritual, emotional alignment, maybe your physical alignment too, and let's create some space around our nerve system so that we might be able to stretch and move and grow and be in less pain. Take care, friends.